Hello, House of God Church. This is Vitali. Happy Thursday. As you know, this Holy Week we are going day by day through Jesus' journey to the cross. And today we're going to look at the day before Jesus was crucified, which is Thursday. But first, I'd like to share a personal story. When I was growing up, Thursdays were my favorite days. Every Thursday after work, my mom would go grocery store shopping. She would go to Sam's Club and buy groceries for the whole entire week. We would be waiting for her expectantly, not because she was bringing baking flour or vegetables or bread or milk. We would be waiting expectantly because every Thursday she would bring a fresh baked pizza from Sam's Club. Me and my sister would wait for her, and as she came, we would help with the groceries and then get them all organized, and then we would sit with our family and eat Meat Lovers large pizza from Sam's Club. I will always remember my Thursdays when we were growing up. While Jesus was on this earth, he shared a lot of meals with a lot of people. One of the criticisms of the Pharisees was that he would eat too much with the wrong people. Jesus never refused a good meal. Today, we are going to look at an important meal that Jesus had. It's different than the rest of the meals. It was the last meal that Jesus would have with his disciples. We call it the Last Supper. All 12 of the disciples and Jesus were gathered in the upper room. Everyone took their place around the table, but there was something missing. Somebody forgot to arrange somebody to come and wash the feet of the disciples and Jesus. All of a sudden, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from the supper. He laid aside his outer garment, taken a towel, and wrapped it around his waist. He poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with a towel that was wrapped around him. Never has this been seen before. Peter tried to deny Jesus, but there was no use. More than once, the disciples disputed with each other as to which would be regarded as the greatest. Jesus said, "Who is the greater one? The one who reclines at the table or the one that serves? Is it not the one that reclines at the table? But I am among you as the one who serves." Jesus flipped the disciples' understanding upside down. They thought that being with Jesus, they would get promoted to leadership roles where others would serve them and they would be treated like royalty. They would become great leaders and they would be royalty, but not like they expected. Jesus would give them a new commandment. He said, "Love one another just as I have loved you. You are also to love one another. By this, the whole world will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." Jesus showed the disciples how he loves them, not only by getting down on his knees and washing their dirty feet, but by going up on the cross and dying for them. The Bible says that Jesus loved them till the end, even though they would desert him, even though some would deny him, and even though Judas would betray him. Jesus loved them till the end. The new commandment that Jesus gave is still the same for us today. Love one another just as I have loved you. Today, let's reflect on how much Jesus has loved us, how much he has forgiven us, how patient he is with us, how he has redeemed us, how he became poor so that we could be rich, how he canceled all of our debt, and how he was not embarrassed to come into our mess and to love us through everything. Now, in the same way, let us love one another, forgiving each other, being patient with each other, asking for forgiveness to those whom we've wronged, settle our debts with one another, and to be a servant, to outdo one another in showing honor and show the world that we are the disciples of Jesus.